Okay, Yogi, so just settle down on your mats. I know it's been a little crazy, but try and put that behind you and sit either cross-legged or Vajrasan, whichever works for you. Take a few minutes to calm down, compose yourself. And today is probably when you'll actually feel the need to calm down because you've been anxious about, whether you're going to get in, you're not going to get in. And that's pretty much of life, whether some things are going to happen or not. But then you decide, you can always take a chill and you can say, you know what, I'm just going to spend 1 minute just breathing and focusing on my breath. And suddenly all the anxiety will disappear and you will feel a little more centered. So take this as a learning opportunity and, let it go. Then see if you can focus back on your posture because that's important to you. Imagine going through life slouching. So increase the length of your spine. Push your sit bones deeper into your heels or the mat, whichever way you're sleeping. And set your intention for your practice today. My intention is to do a very simple but contemplative practice. And how do we make it contemplative? Is to make it slow. Because once you slow down, your mind kind of really tends to focus on those things that are important. You learn to start giving up on your baggage. You also figure out where that baggage is coming from. You figure out that most of the baggage that comes to you, be it emotional, be it physical, has very little to do with what you've done. It's very much to do with what others are pushing onto you, what the world, what the environment, what other people are pushing onto you. The only choice you really have is whether it's going to affect you or not. You can't control everyone around you. You can certainly control your thoughts. You can certainly choose to be kinder, to let it go. So let this practice be that. I'm going to throw poses at you and you can't control that. I can throw crazy poses, I can throw easy poses. But what you can control is how you react to those poses. How much you want to kind of let your ego get in the picture and say, no, I'm going to hold my warrior two for a whole minute and a half. Or you can say, you know what, this is paining me. I'm just going to straighten my knee for a bit and then get back. It's your practice. It's your life. You take the decisions. When you're ready, interlace your fingers. Inhale, take your arms all the way up. Reach up. Become tall. See if you can use your stretches to let go a little more. Staying with your breath. Exhale, release. Interlace your fingers behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other. And then take your heart up towards the ceiling. Slowly release. Interlace your fingers in front of your heart. Extend your elbows. Imagine someone's trying to pull your arms out of your shoulders. Round your back, completely round your back. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Slowly release. Left palm outside right knee. Right palm behind you. Increase the length of your spine. Exhale, twist. I know these stretches kind of become very commonplace, but sometimes you just want to be staying with something that's familiar, so that your mind has a place to kind of zero in and say, this is familiar, let's see where this goes. Slowly release, and the other side, right palm outside left knee, left palm behind you. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, twist. Staying with the breath. Choosing to stay focused on the present, on the here and the now. The past has happened, the future is yet to happen. All you have is the here and the now. Slowly release. Right palm just next to you. Inhale, take your left arm all the way up. Become tall on the left side of your torso and then push across to the right side, lateral bend. You can start bending your right elbow, but push your left hip deeper into your left heel or the mat, however you've chosen to sit. Staying with your breath. Then see if you can circle your heart up towards the ceiling. So push your left shoulder even further back towards the wall behind. Slowly release. Left palm on the mat next to you. Inhale, take your right palm all the way up. Become tall on the right side and then push down to the left. Push your right hip deeper into the mat or into your right heel. Keep reaching across. Then see if you can turn your heart up towards the ceiling. Spiral your heart up. Push your right shoulder towards the wall behind. Slowly, 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 slowly release. Tuck your toes in, gently rise up to standing. Come to the tops of your mats. Feet are maybe hip width apart. Heels just behind your second and third toes. So a little internal rotation of the thighs at the hips. Tailbone pointing down, spine growing tall, shoulders relaxed. Pulling up your kneecaps, engaging all the muscles in your leg. Staying with the breath, palms in front of your heart. Once again, going back to the intention. Slow and steady. Inhale, circle your arms up. Take your time. Feel each muscle engaging as you reach your arms up. Keep your palms parallel to one another. Keep reaching up. If you want, turn your face up to look at the space between your fingertips. It's not really a back bend, it's just a compression in your neck. Reach your fingertips up. Exhale, circle your palms, swan dive all the way down to your first forward fold. Try and maintain your hips above your heels. So even if you feel your hips are pushing towards the wall behind, consciously push your hips forward. Then wrap your palms behind your calves. Start engaging your biceps. Pull your heart in towards your knees. See if you can slide your palms down towards your heels. Maybe not. Inhale, spine tall. Reach your heart forward, fingertips down. Staying with the breath. So you're still stretching out your hammies, but in a different way. Exhale, forward fold, fingertips on either side of your feet. Bend your knees. Take your right foot all the way back. Stay on the balls of your right foot. Sink your hips down as low as they can get, but take your heart forward. chin up. Couple of breaths here, feeling the stretch. Get your right palm next to your left foot. Inhale, circle your left arm up. We're gonna hold for a bit. Staying with your breath. If holding the pose makes you feel in any way uncomfortable, feel free to move out. So in order to relieve the pressure, maybe put your right knee down. Maybe just give up on the pose altogether. Maybe just move into child's pose. So whenever you feel it's getting too much, do whatever it takes to release yourself out of the pose. But if you're holding the pose, get into the mental work necessary to see what is shifting within you to maintain the pose. Slowly release your left palm down. Drop your right heel down, heel to arch alignment. Feet are perpendicular to one another. Push down into the right outer edge of the foot. Circle your arms up to warrior two. Pushing into the outer edge of your right foot. Keep your right knee straight. Take that energy to push your left hip down towards your left ankle. Left knee tracking over your second and third toes. Spine growing tall. Shoulders relaxed. Shoulder blades just gently squeezing in towards each other. Fingertips shooting out the energy. Chin turned over your left shoulder. Staying with your breath. Straighten your left knee. Reach through your left palm. Reach forward. Try and maintain your body in one plane. Keep reaching. When you can reach no more, or when the stretch in your right adductor is too much, circle your left palm down, right palm up to triangle. Yogi's choice, you can get into Namaste overhead, or you can just hold the triangle. Now, while you quietly hold the triangle, see if you can use the time to ease into the pose. Now, though you're not choosing the pose, I'm literally throwing the pose at you. You can decide whether you're being easy about it or whether you're kind of being, for lack of a better word, egoistical and saying, I have to do this. I have to hold it. I have to go reach my left palm down all the way to the mat. If I don't, there's something wrong with me. You're not proving anything to anyone. You're just holding a pose. With your breath, slowly release your palms back. Bend your left knee. Circle up, warrior two. Windmill your arms around. Left foot all the way back and up. Let's hold three-legged down dog. Reach your toes as high up as you can. Spread your fingertips. Spread your fingers, sorry. Externally rotate your arms at the shoulders. Keep pushing your heart back towards your knee. Keep taking your tailbone up and back. Come on, I know you need to work your lower back, your left lower back, to take the left toes up. Continue that work. What part of you is rebelling? What part of you is breathing and saying it doesn't matter? It's only for a few more seconds. Slowly release your left foot down. Inhale, come to plank. Shoulders over wrists, hips in line with shoulders. Now we're going to hold this plank for a full minute. If it gets too much, feel free to drop down to your knees. Feel free to drop down all the way to your stomach. But make sure you're in touch with your ego. Make sure you're in touch with what it is that makes you stay steady or makes you move. Make sure you're in touch with your feelings. Why do we carry this ego with us? Why can we not just let it go and say, look, it's uncomfortable, let me go? Equally, if others are throwing stuff at you that you don't like, people can be disloyal, people can be mean, people can be jealous, whatever it is, can you let it go? Slowly down to your knees, chest and chin. Let's hold this for a bit. Staying with your breath. Gently releasing all the way down. And slowly pushing up to baby cobra. Staying with your breath. Keeping those elbows bent. Taking the heart up just as much as you think you can manage. And when you're ready, seeing if you want to release your palms off the mat. Again, you don't have to do it. We're holding this for about 30 seconds with your breath. See if you can push down into your toes. See if you can keep lifting your heart with each breath. So rather than keeping it static, see if you can incrementally keep your heart peeling away from the mat. Gently replace your palms back down. Tuck your toes in. Come up through your knees. Hips up and back. Down dog. Staying with your breath, get your right foot all the way forward between your palms. Keeping your hips low, right knee over right ankle. Taking your heart forward. Back knee straight, spine growing tall. Get your left palm next to your right foot. Inhale, take your right palm all the way up. As we hold the posture, see if we can first just line ourselves up properly. So rather than getting into all the mental stuff, he said, she said, and I hold a grudge, just focus on your body. Right shoulder stacking above your left. Left knee going strong and straight. Enjoying the twist. Pushing that left palm deeper into the mat so that you root to rise your right fingertips up even higher towards the sky. Staying with your breath. Long inhales, maybe ujjayi exhales, whatever works. Gently release your right palm down. Release your left heel down. Heel to arch. Feet are perpendicular. Left arm circles up and across to warrior two. Push down into the outer edge of your left foot. Left knee straight. Right hip down towards your right ankle. Increase the length of your spine. Shoulders relaxed. Right knee tracking over your second and third toes. Chin over your right shoulder, gazing out into the far horizon. Staying calm. Slowly straightening out your right knee. Reaching across with your right fingertips until you can either reach no further or your left adductors have had enough of a stretch. Then whenever you're ready, circle your right palm all the way down, left palm up. You can either stay in classic triangle or palms overhead on Namaste. Triangle is an extremely challenging pose on its own, but an extremely relaxing and calming pose. Because you need to think of so many things in your pose, like keeping your knees straight, keeping that weight in your back foot, trying to keep your body in one plane, pushing your left shoulder towards the wall behind. If you're doing the Namaste, keeping your elbows straight, reaching the fingertips forward. If you're doing standard triangle, reaching your fingertips up and down. Takes a lot. Gently release your arms. Look down at your front foot. Bend your right knee, circle back up. Warrior two. Windmill your arms around. Get your right foot back and up. Staying with your breath. Keep taking those right toes up. What's making it difficult? Is it because you're not engaging your core? Or is it because you're mentally telling yourself this is too hard? You should be moving on with the pose. Spread your fingers. External rotation of the arms at the shoulders. Keep reaching your right foot up if you can. And if you can't, what's stopping you from just resting your foot down? Slowly get your foot all the way down. Inhale to plank. We'll hold plank once again for a minute. Shoulders in line with your wrists. Hips in line with your shoulders. Holding plank can get challenging. But see if it's your ego that's holding you up or your strength. using your breath to make it easier, as in real life. Breathing through the experience. See if you're sinking into your shoulders. Pull the upper back up towards the ceiling. Slowly release your knees down, chest and chin. Hold it once again. And slowly releasing all the way down, flat on the mat, and coming up to your best possible cobra. Gently squeezing the shoulder blades in. Keep trying to keep the hip points on the mat, keeping the elbows bent, staying with your breath. Knowing when to give up. Knowing that it's your ego that might be harming you the most. You don't become a lesser person by giving up or giving in. You just become wiser. Slowly releasing all the way down, tucking your toes in, coming up into down dog. Look forward between your fingertips, bend your knees, get onto your tippy toes. Either jump or walk your feet all the way to the top of your mat into forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. Keep your palms parallel. Imagine a block of wood between your palms. Push down into that block of wood. Look up into the space between your fingertips. And exhale, release in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Go back to the journey that you came from. When you're ready, circle your arms all the way up, reach up. Look up between your fingertips. And then look forward or ahead of you. Bend your knees, push your tailbone back and down, chair pose. As you hold the chair pose, see whether you want to just hold a shallow chair pose or with each breath, you want to keep pushing your tailbone back and down. With each breath, you want to reach your fingertips up and across. You want to keep your arms next to your ears. Challenging pose. And you're holding it contemplatively. No, in contemplation. Yeah, at least Ranjini is smiling because she gets the irony of the word. Whenever you're ready, ease out into a forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Heart reaching forward, hips over heels, fingertips pointing down. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips on either side. Get your left foot all the way back. Keeping your hips low, heart reaching forward, left knee straight. Drop your left heel down, heel to heel alignment, or a fist or two fist difference between your heels. Left toes pointing 45 degrees forward. Inhale, circle your arms up, warrior one. Scissoring your thighs in towards each other. Fancy way of saying left hip forward, right hip back. Moving your tailbone down and forward even more. Staying with your breath, reaching up with your fingertips. It can get intense. You saw it getting intense with your chair pose. But did you use your breath wisely? Did you allow yourself to get into a forward fold when you felt you couldn't hold it anymore? Reach up even higher with your fingertips as you straighten out your right knee. And then hinge at the hips, reach your fingertips forward. So your spine starts becoming parallel to the floor. Your arms remain next to your ears. Yogi's choice, either hold this or circle your palms all the way down to the mat, maybe behind your right calf, maybe pulling your heart in towards your knee with your biceps. Whatever place you want to be. If you remain with your palms up and your spine parallel to the floor, that becomes challenging to the core. This becomes a little more relaxing because you're stretching out your hamstring. So wherever you feel you want to work, either your hamstring or your core, stay in that position. Where is your ego moving? Slowly release your palms all the way down. If they aren't there already, bend your right knee and then get your right foot all the way back and up. Three-legged down dog. And then for your plank, get your right knee to your right elbow, shoulders over wrists. Hold. And then keep pulling your right knee in and up towards your right armpit. We're going to hold this for a bit. But at any point of time, you feel like it, just get into knee chest chin. Totally yogi's choice. If you're holding knee to elbow or knee to armpit, spread your right toes. Staying with your breath. Drop your right foot all the way back. Knees, chest, chin. Stay with plank, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, yogi's choice. I could be contemplative and say hold chaturanga for a bit, but I won't. Push back to up dog. That would be cruel. Holding chaturanga for a whole minute. Shoulders away from the ears in your up dog. Hip points away from the mat, but pushing the hips down towards the mat nevertheless. Shoulder blades gently pulling in towards each other. Neck a natural extension of your spine. Fingers remain spread. When you're ready, lower your heart down, tuck your toes in, come up through knees, hips up and back, down dog. When you're ready, left foot all the way forward between your palms. Keep your hips low, heart reaching forward. Drop your right heel down, heel to heel alignment, or maybe a fist or two difference between your heels. Your right toes facing forward 45 degrees. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Keep pushing the right hip forward, left hip back. Scissor your thighs in towards each other. Keep pushing your tailbone down and forward. Elbows straight, fingertips reaching up, palms pushing into that imaginary block. Left thigh probably parallel to the mat, or to the extent you can make it parallel. Staying with your breath. Reaching your fingertips even higher up, straightening out your left knee. Straighten out your left knee. Reaching up even more with your fingertips, hinging from your hips, and then circling your palms all the way forward. Either holding here or releasing your palms to the back of your calf and pulling your heart in towards your knee, whichever you find more interesting. So fingertips moving forward, back parallel to the floor is challenging for the core. Getting your fingers behind your front calf and pulling your heart in towards your knee is so much more relaxing. Staying with your breath, noticing if your ego is creeping into your practice, checking it out at the door. Release your palms all the way down to the mat. Bend your front knee. Take your front foot back and up. Externally rotating your arms at the shoulders. Reaching your right heel down towards the mat. Staying with your breath. Get your left knee to your left elbow, plank. We're gonna hold this for a bit. Spread your left toes. Pull your left knee in and up towards your left armpit. Continue to engage your breath. In the meantime, try and perfect your position. Your upper middle back is going up towards the ceiling. Don't let ego creep in. If it's too much, just lie down. No one's gonna judge you. It is your practice after all. Slowly release your left foot back down next to your right foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, Yogi's choice. And all the way down to the mat. Inhale, come up to either baby cobra or up dog. Gently turn your face over your right shoulder to look at your left heel. Staying with your breath. Turn your face forwards and then over your left shoulder at your right heel. Gently turn your face forwards. Tuck your toes in, hips up and back, down dog. Look forward, bend your knees, jump or walk your feet all the way back to the top of the mat. Forward fold, straighten out your knees. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Keep taking your tailbone all the way back, parallel your thighs to the mat. Reach your arms forward next to your ears. Tailbone moving back. Stay low, stay with your heart down towards your thighs. Not yet a chair pose. Reach forward, not up with your fingertips. Staying with your breath. Inhale, peel up to chair pose. Tailbone moving back and down. Knees behind your toes. You're looking either at the top of your mat or a little ahead of you. Elbows straight. Staying with your breath. Gently release to Namaste. Slowly lower yourself to your mat. Lie down. Yeah, legs are straight. Now, keeping the soft of your palms on the mat, slide your palms under your hips. To keep your knees straight. Then push down into your palms and your elbows and lift your heart up towards the ceiling, bending your elbows. So keep taking your heart up towards the ceiling as much as you can. If you want, initially get the back of your head off the mat, so you get a maximum kind of back bend. And then once you've done that, release the back of your head back down towards the mat. So your heart is strongly moving up towards the ceiling. Reach your toes forward. If you wish to, either take one heel off the mat at the time or take both your heels off the mat. Totally up to you. But make sure you keep your ego checked at the door. If you feel it's too much, get your heels back down. You keep pointing your toes forward and then slowly, slowly, slowly release. Release your palms from under your hips. Flex your ankles so that your toes are pointing up. Try and grow tall through your heels as much as you can. Try and grow tall through the top of your head. So gently lift your head up and then extend the back of your neck and then gently replace your head back down to the mat. Then bend your knees in towards your chest. Knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Lift your nose up so that it gets in between your knees. So stay here for a bit. What are the thoughts that arise when you hold your pose? Apart from your obvious muscle contractions, can you let everything else just go? When you're ready, slowly release your feet down, close to your hips, your head down. And then cross your right knee over your left knee. And then both your knees, push them down to the right. So this is a weirder twist. Get your left arm to the side. Try and keep your left shoulder on the mat. And maybe gently use your right palm on your knees to keep talking them down. Staying with your breath. Sometimes it's important to forgive others, not because they deserve your forgiveness, but because you deserve to let it go. We allow our egos to get in the way and say, oh, we are so important and oh, we are right. But being right doesn't necessarily mean being happy. And given a choice between right and happiness, you really need to know which one is more important. We all carry baggage from the past. And we can all just let it go. But in order to let it go, you need to be conscious of what it is that you're really holding on to. More often than not, you're not holding on to the other person's evil. You're holding on to your ego, which needs to be right, which needs to be proven to be right. Slowly release. Uncross your knees. When you're ready, gently cross your left knee over your right knee. And then gently drop both your knees over to the left. Keep your right arm stretched across, your right shoulder on the mat, and your left palm on your knees. Twists are always difficult if you start cramping up your muscles. The more you breathe and allow your muscles to go, the easier it is to fall into that twist. But you've got to decide to let go. You've got to allow yourself to be more flexible. Flexibility is something you're born with, but because of the process of growing up and because of the process of developing an ego, you begin to lose it. And that emotional loss translates into physical loss. And if you internalize the hurt from others too much, it could lead to other psychosomatic conditions like autoimmune diseases like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, so many things going on within you. When you're ready, gently, gently, gently release your twist. Keep your knees bent, uncross your knees, and then just let your knees flop over on either side so that the soles of your feet come together. If you want, get your palms on your respective knees or your thighs to gently push them lower down towards the mat. No forced pressure, just gentle, gentle, gentle kindness to yourself. So Supta Baddha Konasana, lying down cobbler pose. Letting go. The more you let go, the more your knees will reach the mat. And now going back to your breath. Ultimately, that's all you hold on to. That too, the breath tells you, don't hold on to me. Let it come, let it go. Holding on to your breath could be disastrous. Life depends on letting go, not only of your breath, but every baggage that you've accumulated in the process of living. There's really very little in your control except for your breath and maybe your happiness. Gently release into your Shavasana, or if you want to hold on to your cobbler pose, hold on to it. Whatever works for you. The Shavasana can be the most difficult pose because it's when you let go of your body that your mind, your subconscious allows or surfaces itself. That's when you start really noticing what's going on inside of you. Don't feel scared. This is your space. Let those thoughts come and go. Just watch. If you don't judge, they won't harm you. Nobody can harm you if you don't judge. When you're ready, take a nice, long, deep breath in. Hold your breath for just a bit. When you're ready to exhale, bend your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. And then gently rock from side to side. Whenever you're ready, roll over to your right, turn your face down, blink your eyes open, come back to seated. Sit wherever's comfortable with palms in front of your heart, gently bowing your head to your palms. Taking the time to see your contemplative journey, your contemplative practice today. Was it useful? Was it not? Was it just over the top? Are you judging? Did you just go with the flow? Can you allow life to just flow through you like a contemplative practice? No rush, just observing. When you're ready, interlace your fingers. Inhale, now stretch all the way up. Reach up. And release. Namaste, yogis. As always, absolute privilege practicing with you. Hope your practice is useful. See you again on Tuesday.